my fair warrior.
My dear Othello.
It gives me wonder great as my content to see you here before me, O my soul's joy. After every tempest comes such calms. May the winds blow till they have wakened death, and let the laboring bark climb hills of seas, Olympus high and duck again as low as hell's from heaven. If it were now to die, 'twere now to be most happy. For I fear my soul hath her contents so absolute that not another comfort like this succeeds.
Heavens forbid, but that our loves and comfort shall increase, even as our days do grow.
Amen to that, sweet powers. I cannot speak enough of this content. It stops me here. It is too much of joy. And this, the greatest discords be that ever our hearts shall make.
Oh, you are well tuned now, but I'll set down the pegs that make this music as honest as I am.
Come, let us to the castle. News, friends, our wars are done, the Turks are drowned. How does my old acquaintance of this isle? Honey, you shall be well desired in Cyprus. I have found great love amongst them. Oh, my sweet, I prattle out of fashion. I dote in my own comforts. I pry thee, good Iago, go to the bay and disembark my coffers. Bring thou the master to the citadel. He is a good one, and his worthiness does challenge much respect. Come, Desdemona, once more we'll meet at Cyprus.
Go.
Do thou meet me presently at the harbor. Come hither. If thou beest valiant, as they say, base men being in love have then a nobility in their natures more than is native to them. List me. The lieutenant tonight watches on the court of the guard. First I must tell thee this, Desdemona is directly in love with him.
With him? Why, 'tis not possible.
Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me with what violence she first loved the more, but for bragging and telling the fantastical lies, and will she love him still for prating? Let not thy discreet heart think it. Her eye must be fed, and what delight shall she have to look on the devil? When the blood is made dull with the act of sport, there should be, again to inflame it and to give a fresh appetite. Loveliness and favor, sympathy and years, manners and beauties, all which the more is defective in. Now, for want of these required conveniences, her delicate tenderness will find itself abused, begin to heave the gorge, disrelish and abhor the more. Very nature will instruct her in it, and compel her to some second choice. Now, sir, this granted, as it is most pregnant and unforced position, who stands to eminent in the degrees of this fortune as Cassio does, a knave very voluble, no further conscionable than in putting on the mere form of civil and humane seeming, for the better compassing of his salt and most hidden loose affection. Why none? A slipper and subtle knave, a finder of occasions, that has an eye can stamp and counterfeit advantages, though true advantage never present itself. A devilish knave, besides the knave is handsome, young, and hath all that requisites in him that folly and green minds look after, a pestilent, complete knave, and the woman hath found him already.
I cannot believe that in her she's full of the most blessed condition.
Blessed fig's end, the wine she drinks is made of grapes. If she has been blessed, she would never have loved the more. Blessed pudding, didst thou not see her paddle with the palm of his hand? Didst not mark that?
Yes, that I did, but that was but courtesy.
Lechery, by his hand, an index and obscure prologue to the history of lust and foul thoughts. They met so near with their lips that their breaths embraced together. Villainous thoughts, Rodrigo. When these mutalities so marshal the way, hard at hand comes the master and main exercise, the incorporate conclusion. Pish, but sir, be you ruled by me. I have brought you from Venice. Watch you tonight for the command. I'll lay it upon you. Cassio knows you not. I'll not be far from you. Do you find some occasion to anger Cassio, either by speaking too loud or tainting his discipline, or from what other course you please, which the time shall more favorably minister?
Well?
Sir, he is rash and very sudden in choler, and haply may strike at you. Provoke him, that he may, for even out of that will I cause these of Cyprus to mutiny, whose qualification shall come into no true taste again, but by the displanting of Cassio. So shall you have a shorter journey to your desire, by the means I shall then have to prefer them, and the impediment most profitably removed, without the which there were no expectation of our prosperity.
I will do this. if I can bring it to any opportunity.
I warrant thee. Meet me by and by at the citadel. I must fetch his necessaries ashore. Farewell.
Adieu.
That Cassio loves her, I do well believe it. That she loves him, 'tis apt and of great credit. The more, howbeit, that I endure him not, is of a constant, loving, noble nature, and I dare think he'll prove to Desdemona a most dear husband. Now I do love her too, not out of absolute lust, though peradventure I stand accounting for as great a sin, but partly led to diet my revenge, for that I do suspect the lusty Moor hath leapt into my seat, the thought whereof doth like a poisonous mineral gnaw at my innards, and nothing can or shall content my soul till I am even with him, wife for wife, or failing so, yet that I put the Moor at least into a jealousy so strong that judgment cannot cure. Which thing to do, if this poor trash of Venice, whom I trashed for his quick hunting, stand the putting on, I'll have our Michael Cassio on the hip, abuse him to the Moor in the rank garb, for I fear Cassio with my nightcap too. Make the Moor thank me, love me, and reward me, for making him egregiously an ass and practicing upon his peace and quiet, even to madness. 'Tis here, but yet confused, knavery's plain face is never seen to you.